This podcast is part of the Zio to Hero Podcast Network.
You stay right here.
The world is very lucky to have you, and so am I. May the power protect you, always.
We heard the voices. We can hear them. We can touch them. We're gonna find out who they really are.
Well, now that's a terrible idea. I'm gonna do that one more time because I felt like I sloshed it.
Yeah. So who's your favorite droid?
Chopper. He's like my personality inside. I just create a mess everywhere I go. And I say random things. Yeah.
My favorite is R2. R2 is my hands down favorite character in Star Wars of all time. But
all right, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Chopper and BB-8.
Here you go. You're on the spot. Give me your best R2 impression. It was so loud. It was so loud. It like blanked out on the. It muted the mic because it was so loud.
Yeah.
Welcome to this episode of Zio to Hero. I know that y'all saw that it popped up on your new episodes for the week, so definitely take a listen. I am usually joined by Jim, but this week he is gone this week because he got the call Saturday night, and basically he got selected in the top 10 in the world for the hide and seek area. And he is now part of the Do Better Slap Leather Q4 Semi-Regional North American Invitational. And if y'all don't know, Jim has moved up in the ranks of this world. And he's went from 7th to the 6th ranking. I will name off the top 6 that are better than Jim at hide and go seek right now. Number 1, you got extraterrestrials. You can't beat them. Nobody knows where they're at. They're always ocean, Earth, space, whatever. You can never get grainy footage of them. Then you got your Jersey Devil, your Brillo Men, your Mexican Brujas, your Canadian Sam Squanches, and then you got Jim. So, that was a lot for a fat guy to breathe out at one time. But Jim, hope you do good, because we know the year 2025 is the world title that the top 5 will go to. So Jim's on the outside looking in like Alabama is on the college football playoffs. So, but I am not alone. So I'm not alone tonight. Not at all. I have sent out a wow signal to the galaxies far, far away. And that actually sounded pretty good. But I got 2 guests tonight from another podcast that I've recently started listening to, and they have been a hoot. And their laughter on their podcasts are completely contagious to me. So I start laughing at work, making me look crazy. But I heard that if you look crazy good enough, you get paid by the state of Texas. So I'll take that free check. Senator, whoever, Cruz, I don't know, whatever. But anyways, I want to welcome onto tonight's episode Rexy and Denise from the podcast of the Sisterhood of the Travelin Bantha.
Hey, Billy.
I saw y'all dying over there. I was like, I gotta speed this up, but there's a lot of words.
You slaughtered us. My face hurts and we just started.
It's probably one of the best intros to a podcast I've ever heard.
Yeah, we gotta step up our game.
Well, if Jim was here, he would probably cut me off mid-sentence and then just rag me for not getting things right or something. I don't know. We'll think.
It was beautifully done.
Yeah, we loved it. We're a big fan.
It's like, what's that thing? It's like Picasso, 14 more of these things. Oh my god.
My face hurts. I'm smiling, laughing so much already. Ooh.
So this is an odd episode because normally we talk to people that are in different locations, but y'all two are a special case. Y'all are actually basically neighbors, and y'all are in the same room right now. So this is a fun experience.
We record in my craft / pod room every Wednesday. And I mean, we live, like 10 minutes away from each other. So our energy is so much better when we're together. We like to be together.
Yeah.
So
I feel that. That's exactly how me and my brother are. We do that too. When we get together, I'll make him go hide behind a pillar of a building and his stomach's hanging out while I take a picture. So, we got to say, where's Jim episodes.
Is this like how he became like this world champion or on the verge of becoming a world champion hide and seeker?
Oh, yes.
To go hide?
Yeah, that's basically it. And then, I'm like,
you're
it's
like
the movie.
Phil. You're like Phil. If he was the Hercules of world hide and go seek, you're Phil.
Yeah, we had a whole training montage of like the Rocky where like he's punching the rib slab, but it was just us in like what's the pizza place that we go to all the time? I don't remember the place now. God dang it. But it's just us there sitting looking at the oven. That's just us. Oh my God. But yeah, so y'all actually have a really interesting podcast. I've been listening to since Valentine's Day. And so I've been trying to catch up to this point, and y'all have a lot of interesting conversations with other people. The latest episode I listened to that y'all did was where y'all took, for the Halloween one, y'all took Star Wars characters and you put them into like horror themed slasher characters positions. And I feel like I have one to tell y'all is I would totally have what's his name? I can't now.
What does he look like?
He's the orange
Chopper.
Chopper. That's right. I would have Chopper as Megan.
Oh yeah, Megan.
Yes, he is a war criminal. It works.
It works. Yeah. So that's all I can think of.
I like it.
That was such a fun episode to do. Like, between like different Star Wars shows, we're like, what kind of fun things can we talk about? And we both love. Well, Rexy loves Halloween a lot more than me.
I love Halloween. It is my favorite. Horror. I love horror more than Star Wars. Horror is my first.
And so I was like, why don't we try to just mash up Star Wars characters with Halloween costumes? And it's not the first time we've done stuff like that. We did for the Olympics. We did what Olympic events with all the different Star Wars characters competed.
That was super fun too.
That was another fun one. I don't know. We just like to have fun with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun to listen to because, like, you open up, like, my eyes to other situations. Yeah. And so I have a question. How did you get your start in doing this? Was it just like y'all met one day and was like podcast,
Okay. So we've been friends for years.
Yes.
We actually met. This is kind of a cool story too. So I'm going to give you a very long story now. So we met at a very tiny con called LibCon at one of the libraries here in town. She was in her Mando costume, and I was just like, I just moved to town, and I had another friend introduce me to another person who did cosplay, and she was like, hey, I think you'd like to do this. So he was like, hey, you should come to LibCon at this library and meet some more people in the community. Well, I'm just in there, like, walking around, and I see her in a Mando, and I was like, you can be a Mandalorian? And I went over there, and I was like, hi. And she gave me a business card, and I never left.
Yeah, it was like crazy, because I didn't even want to do that event to begin with, because I think I was the only one there.
You were the only one at the table.
For the Star Wars groups. And I was like, oh, this is so boring, but I'm glad I went because it was destiny. Like,
Yeah. So we met, and then we ended up being friends, and we were friends for years. And me and Denise and our silent third, Dina, she's always like, we mentioned her in a lot of our episodes. She's our bestie.
Yeah.
We go to her house for Halloween for a lot of the holidays. It was New Year's.
Yeah, it was
New Year's. Halloween just passed. But we were at New Year's, oh God, like 3 years ago?
3, 4?
4 years ago?
Something.
Several years ago now, we were hammered, Billy.
Oh.
Hammered. And I looked at Denise and I was like, let's do a podcast. And she was like, let's do a Star Wars podcast. And I was like, let's do a podcast.
And then I also at this point told them I've never listened to a podcast, but let's do it.
Yeah, she was like, I don't even know what podcast is. I've never listened to one. And I was like, I've listened to all kinds of them, and I already had another podcast that I had been doing for a year at this point. So I was like, I got you. Let's do this. And then we woke up the next day, and we were sober, and we still wanted to do it. Yeah. So
it took a while to get things going, but that's kind of...
Yeah.
When y'all had the original idea, when y'all were hammered, did y'all at least have like a freeze frame high five pose together?
No. That would have been amazing.
That would have been awesome. I'm pretty sure we were just trying to hold each other up.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure my husband was in the corner going, good Lord, was my wife getting into this time?
Right.
However, Matthew has been one of our biggest supporters. He doesn't even like Star Wars, but he likes us, and he supports Denise in literally anything she ever wants to do.
He got us our first recording microphone soundboard.
This is typically what we record with. We record on a Mayono.
Okay.
We have the pop filters and all that stuff. He bought those for us. He has given us ideas.
He reached out to... Have you heard of Galactic Empire? They're a metal Star Wars band.
No.
And he reached out to him to ask if we could use some of their music for our intro.
Yep. So our intro music is actually done by them because they were like, yeah, you can use it as long as it's under a minute. He just does stuff like this. Yeah. He'll randomly be sitting around and he'll be like, oh, you should do this. And then she'll be like, Matthew just gave me this idea. He's a genius. He doesn't even like Star Wars.
Nope.
Dang. Well, I'm glad he's very supportive of y'all. That's fun.
Yeah. We have a good support system around us.
Yeah.
And so, which makes things easier, and we can have fun with it, and we don't have to get too stressed out about it, and just have fun.
Yep.
And so
my boyfriend goes, Eric, you'll see him at some point pop in and give me a milkshake. He's on an errand for me. He goes to a lot of our events with us and helps us hauling our stuff around, setting up, tearing down, watching our table while we walk around. So he loves Star Wars. Most of the events end up with the Star Wars costuming clubs nearby, so he'll just throw on one of his costumes and, get a troop in while he helps us. So we really do have a really good support system. Ooh, of course.
Oh, wow. One time I went to a con and there was a two booths next to each other. One was the Rebellion, and then one was Jedi's, or the one was Stormtroopers, and one was Jedi's. And I was like, do they not see you?
A lot of times, so we both do costuming with the Star Wars costume groups and do charity work with it. Mm-hmm. And here, especially here in Oklahoma, but a lot of other states too, you got the good guys, the Jedis, the bad guys, the Stormtroopers, and then the best of them all, the Mandalorians. We'll do everything together and just hang out and just have a big Star Wars presence.
Yeah. So you'll see, the clubs will have their different tables. 501st Legion, bad guys will have their own table. Rebel Legion, good guys will have their own table. Mandos will have their own table. Droid Builders, you'll see them out a lot. And they're all technically different costuming clubs. But at least, like she said, here in Oklahoma, we're all such good friends anyway. Some of our best friends have come from being in these clubs. Our bestie that we mentioned earlier, Dina, she is our Princess Leia. She does Princess Leia for a lot of our events. Yeah. And that's how I know her. I don't know if that's how you guys have met.
No, she was in her Leia and I was in my Juno.
Yeah.
Hey, is that
Eric? That's an Eric. Ice cream delivery.
What?
Thank you, baby.
So
Star Wars has really changed our lives.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe it. I don't understand is how when a woman will dress up like Slave Leia and it's cosplay, but when I dress up like Slave Leia, I'm drunk in Home Depot.
It's all about the environment. You gotta take that Hut Slayer Leia to Dragon Con.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I do a big photo shoot too at Dragon Con.
Yep. Maybe not Home Depot, but Dragon Con. You'll make some new besties.
I'm gonna have to have y'all as my advisors or something.
Hey, yeah, I like
it. Oh man! So now how long have you been doing this podcast for? Like 3?
We had hit
2
2 years in July.
Yeah, so like
So-
2 and a half.
okay.
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah.
Okay, that's similar to us. We kind of started like that too. We're about 2 years now. Okay, but yeah. So as you
Happy
can't,
birthday.
as you can't tell, we primarily are like Power Rangers. But since Power Rangers kind of went on a hiatus and stuff, and kind of Hasbro kind of killed the line off, we started branching out to like animes, movies, and the one thing we really branched off into was the Star Wars TV series, and that's been an absolute delight. So.
Like all of them?
Almost, yeah, every one of them, yeah.
Yeah, they're so good. The shows are so good.
We love diving into the shows and talking all about it.
Unless it's Clone Wars.
Oh.
I can't get into it.
So the one show I watched that I was kind of lost on was like
the damn thing.
I was watching Ahsoka, and I didn't realize who was who. So Ahsoka actually, my brother told me basically like you have to watch kind of Rebels to understand a lot of the characters. So I went back and I watched
story probably.
Yeah, so I went back and watched a little bit of like Rebels, and I was like, okay, now I understand who,
I guess Hera and Ezra are in there, so that makes sense. That's
right.
Right.
So now I kind of realized
cameo at the end. Isn't that right?
Who's what?
Didn't we? I thought we got a Zeb.
Zeb was a Mandalorian.
That's what it was.
Zeb?
Yeah.
Zeb. I knew that. Yeah, I knew that we had gotten one in there somewhere, and I was thinking it was.
He's supposed to be in the movie coming out.
What?
Yeah, we talked to the voice actor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. So we got to meet him, and he was the nicest dude. But it was so funny when we walked up. We were like, "We just want to tell you that we were so excited about that thing that isn't happening that we can't talk about." He was like, "I don't know what you're talking about either, but I'm so excited."
It was leaked out, and we're like, "We're so excited!" And like, he was super nice.
Yeah, he was like, "I am too, but I don't know what we're talking about."
I wonder what he's gonna do in it, because like he was one of their people with them, but
he'll
pilot. Is he a supporting actor?
I think he'll probably have a small role, but he'll be with the X-wing pilots that we see in The Mandalorian.
Okay,
like with, Captain Tebow.
Cool.
Remember?
That's right.
At the
hell yeah. Okay.
The bar. That's where they were talking.
Yep. They were talking. So Teva and Zeb will be.
I bet you also. He could go on a rescue mission with Hera to try to bring back Ahsoka and Sabine from the distant galaxy
because they're still trapped. And that would be a really good place for Omega to show up. Because we're pretty sure that we're going to see Omega team up with them, and that would be perfect timing.
We got to get a live action. Omega.
I think we
so.
will.
Yeah. I'd be so surprised if we didn't.
They primed her for it at the end of Bad Batch.
We know where she's going. We know what she's doing.
I think this is a very far off possibility, but I think we might see her in Andor because it was the end of Bad Batch is right before the rebellion. She goes off to join the rebellion.
Oh, so we might because Andor is when it's starting.
Yep.
Ooh, that would be so cool.
I
bet they'll probably make us wait.
I mean, Disney is good with that.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so cool though.
I want to.
So Andor is probably one of my favorite non-Star Wars, like no Jedi shows. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite. Yeah.
That one is my personal favorite. That is the only show that my husband has watched all the way through and actually somewhat enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that it didn't revolve around Jedi, which tend to be Star Wars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this was building the rebellion that led to what started everything.
Right. Yeah. It was people. It was like just creatures, citizens going about their lives and being caught up in these things.
Yes.
And it was so relatable because of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you weren't having to put yourselves in the hero's shoes. It was like, oh, these are just people like me.
Yep, and then like after you watch Andor, you can go back and watch Rogue One, and it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
that movie was so
good. look
Denise had to drag me through probably the first 4 episodes of Andor because I just could not get into it. And then like we like crossed over that bridge, and I was here for the rest of it. And then it's like, I really understand why the first 4 episodes were such a slow burn now. Like, you needed a lot of that.
You needed to find out who the characters were, what drove them, because it
all makes sense. Yeah. At the time, I was just like, I don't want to. And she was like, we have a podcast. You have to.
We have to talk about the first 3 episodes.
I was like, I don't want to.
And like at the very end, before they escape the prison, the big shock to me that I absolutely loved is the pieces that they're making in that prison where it goes to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely think we're going to see the Death Star being built in this show, especially because Krennic, he's involved, and Krennic was the one that headed up Stardust.
It was the director.
So we're definitely going to see.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to see Death Star.
Yep.
Maybe not Jen.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's an interesting okay.
What about a young Jen meeting up with Omega? That could be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that can happen in this season, and it makes me sad that it's only like 1 more season.
Oh, it's only 2?
Yeah, it's only 2. Originally, there was rumors.
Oh, and then the movie, right? The movie's tying up the story.
Originally, there was rumors that it was going to be like 5 seasons, and they were going to do each year as a season leading up to it. But I just read that it was actually the creative team for Andor requested to just make it 2 seasons instead of dragging out the story to put it all in the 1 season. Which I'm like, okay, that's cool. They should
make it a better show. Then I'm all for it.
Yeah, listen
I'm all
to
for
the directors.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I'm ready for Andor season 2. Like you posted, it's actually just coming up too, so I'm kind of excited about it myself.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the next 6 months. We got a lot of Star Wars coming out between
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew, December and January, and then Andor is April, May, and but the thing that sucks is that's it for 2025.
Oh, no kidding!
There was supposed to,
I thought we were getting a movie.
No, Mandalorian Grogu is coming out May 2026, and there was supposed to be a second Star Wars movie that was supposed to come out. That got pushed back also and replaced with Ice Age movie for December 6th.
Okay.
So I'm okay with them spreading it out. If that
We've been getting a whole bunch all at once, so it's okay. You know, we're not going through the drought of the 70s or anything. Like, we know stuff's coming.
80s, the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do y'all now that y'all watch the shows, do y'all actually collect the Black Series from Hasbro, or do you? I see that y'all have plushies and one-offs.
I don't really collect figures or things like that. I really like stickers and patches and pins. That's my thing.
Oh.
Okay. So I used to collect a lot, not so much the Black Series. I've had to limit some of my collector. I like getting offbeat stuff. I like to buy from small shops, and I try to do that, but I've had to narrow it down to just certain shows. So I have some Mandalorian, I have some Andor, I've started buying Skeleton Crew, but I primarily collect Legos.
Okay, fair.
I have a lot of Star Wars Legos.
She can build herself a new house with the Legos that she has inside her house.
Oh, nice.
It lights up.
Yeah.
Every year, May 4th, I probably drop about $500 on Star Wars Legos on all their new releases.
No shame.
She works hard though. This girl works her butt off. She's allowed to drop that $500 on her Lego.
I saw the Ahsoka ship as a Lego piece in Walmart last night, and I sat there and I was really debating. I was like, am I fast enough to get past security with this, or?
Yeah, I just went to the Lego store the other day when my husband and I went shopping for our kid's birthday, and I was like, let's just look at the Lego store, and he's like, just buy it. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna buy anything. I'm
just gonna stare at it.
I'll tell you what I want, but I'm trying to practice restraint. We bought the Jar Jar. I can't spend too much.
But Christmas is coming up. You can tell them what you want.
Matt said the Jar Jar Binks is part of my Christmas present.
That's right. I forgot.
Is that a 1-to-1 scale Jar Jar too?
Yep.
Oh my god. Yeah, I saw that
So-
thing. I was like, that's one chunky boy.
So, and for when the Phantom Menace came out in '99, Pepsi and Star Wars.
You just said Fandom Menace.
Did I say Phantom Menace? Oh gosh, we've been calling them out so much. The Phantom Menace. They partnered with Pepsi and they had life-size I almost said robots statues
Yeah.
of Jar Jar Binks, Anakin, and Watto.
A big Watto too.
I think it was Watto.
That's funny.
And so
I wonder who ended up with that Watto.
I don't know, but they were all over in grocery stores and stuff like that, and we just happened to see it for sale on Facebook Market, and jokingly I said, "Oh, I want this, Matthew!" Like,
And
6
sure
months
enough,
later, it's in our house.
She had no idea, but this is another what we were talking about. Matthew being so supportive. Like, she didn't know he was carrying on a conversation with the seller for months, trying to wear him down to get it.
wow.
Like, he would take pictures and videos of my Jar Jar collection and send it to him, and be like, "This is going to a good home. It's not somebody's gonna resell it."
Yeah, she will keep it forever. It might go in the ground with her. You're like,
Yeah.
Like the only thing I really collect, like Star Wars wise, is Ahsoka Funkos and the droids.
Droids are great.
Yeah.
So, who's your favorite droid?
Chopper. He's like my personality inside. I just create a mess everywhere I go. And I say random things. You know? Yeah.
my favorite is R2. R2 is my hands down favorite character in Star Wars of all time. But
all right,
I'm
gonna put you on the spot.
And BB-8.
Here you go. You're on the spot. Give me your best R2 impression. It was so loud. It was so loud. It like blinked out on the. It muted the mic because it was so loud.
Yeah. Talk about R2 a lot.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping it caught it on your end, because like for me it muted it because it was so loud. So I really hope that he catches that on recording. Oh man. Okay. But R2, man, he's been through so much.
He's a ride or die, man.
Ride or die.
Yeah. I wonder what powers him. Like triple A's, double A's.
A battery.
Spite.
Out of spite.
Loyalty and spite. Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
I genuinely think that some of these like droids just start taking on these like sentient like thoughts. Like they're so advanced, especially as you see them evolve through Star Wars. They start like a lot of them are self-aware and like self-actualized. Like K2, yeah, L3 from Han Solo. L3, she rebuilt herself to have a brain and to speak and to
led a rebellion.
Yeah.
She led an entire droid rebellion.
So, do y'all know anything of like Doctor Who?
I love Doctor Who. I am behind. I haven't watched it since Capaldi.
So, what you just mentioned, like how droids are sentient, that reminds me of the episode of Doctor Who when that one Dalek thought it was a girl, like a human, and was like sending out messages. That's what I just thought of right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe R2 thinks he's a Jedi because he carried the lightsaber for Luke sometime.
Yeah. And he was always working with Ahsoka and Anakin, and
he was there all the time, saving everyone.
All the time.
Chopper's murdering everyone. R2 is saving everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
And then 3PO is telling everybody all the odds that they're going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the murderer. He's the panicker.
He was the worry wart. Yeah. That's a good one. So the last show that recently came out from Star Wars was Acolyte. What's y'all's opinions on that?
We loved it.
Loved it.
I loved it too.
Love it. Yeah. Did you? Yay.
Yeah.
So
like the first couple episodes were kind of slow, and outside that there was a lot of like pushback from the fans, but I didn't really look at it like that. I just saw it as like a slow start to a show, but then once you got deep into it, for God's sakes, you get a Jedi Wookiee.
Yes, I love the Jedi Wookiee. I think the problem was I love the show. I actually know friends who've never watched any Star Wars show or anything, and they sat down and watched this show
No kidding.
every week and thought it was the greatest thing.
Wow.
It was so good.
It was such a good show.
I think the problem was people. So there's this subgroup, the fandom menace. People who like to tear down Star Wars, but what
I don't think they actually like Star Wars.
They just love to hate it, you know.
I think what happened was I think this show, like, I went back and rewatched like all the episodes with my son. It's one of those I think it watches better if you sit down and binge watch all the episodes back to back. It kind of pieces it together. I think a little bit better than having those space. But part of the problem was I think that they did pull some stuff from. They were just trying to compare everything to Legends, which is not canon. It is not Star Wars. It was stories made up outside of Lucasfilms. And so they're trying to compare everything
like fan fiction.
That.
Okay.
That's not how it works. And they're like, well, they're painting the Jedi in a bad light. I'm like, well, this is supposed to be
this is
downfall.
how it was.
Like the downfall of the High Republic, which is the golden age of the Jedi. And this is them coming down to the point where
this is almost the end of the High Republic age. Like, just about. So, I mean, they're making some bad decisions. They're doing some really stupid, kind of terrible things.
This is how Palpatine swoops in. Because
everybody can't be, like, the epitome of, you know...
They're too distracted with
perfection all
going
the time.
On. Yeah. And so... I loved it. I loved Soul. I loved Yord.
Yord, yeah. Too bad, man. That sucks. That he died to the mask.
Yeah, they're coming out with a book next year about Yord and Jackie. That is going to be a young adult book.
Yeah. The cover art is so good.
I can't wait for it.
I love one of our book club books.
Jackie is probably one of my favorite Jedis in that series because she went toe to toe. Well, I wouldn't say he was a Sith, but he was very Sith level power.
Oh, he was a Sith.
He was a Sith.
Oh, he was? Okay.
He was trying to find... So Sith are always in 2-2. You can see... They're pretty sure that was Darth Plagueis that was in the cave. Yes. And he wanted... They always work in pairs. And he was trying to find somebody... A pupil for himself to teach as well.
His acolyte. Yeah.
And that's where...
To raise up. And then he would have, eventually tried to axe Plagueis.
Yeah.
Makes so much sense. So was he then...
I like the brain.
Oh, hold on. So then, is that why, what's her name? Went with him to be his acolyte, like?
Yeah.
Yes.
She also did that to save her sister, too.
Yeah, they are each trying to save each other. We thought that would happen. I remember we were talking about thinking that they were going to end up switching and something was going to happen.
Yeah.
And now they're doing it to try to save each other.
But I think it made sense. And, like, he made such, like... The stranger made such compelling arguments for his stance on things.
Yes.
And it was just like, why? Why do you have to bring logic into this? You're supposed to be a bad guy, right? But you're making sense. And
like, this is making it hard to just hate you.
Yeah.
So,
when I was...
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, when I was watching it, I was like, am I really siding with a Sith Lord?
Right? Like, I'm not supposed to do this.
Yeah.
It was such an emotional roller coaster, I feel, for that show. Just seeing, and I really liked that we saw everybody's different point of views of everything. We saw, I'm drawing a blank on her name. Carrie-Anne Moss.
Fern. No.
Oh, what was her Jedi name? They killed her off in the first
Trinity. Trinity. What was Trinity?
Oh, yeah, Trinity. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What was her...
I can't
What was her name in the show? We all just know her as Trinity.
I can't remember her name.
Anyway, you know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
The first one that gets killed. Yeah.
Like, immediately, we were so bummed. So we watched the show together.
I was so upset. And then, like, 2 episodes in, you're like, what? Like, she has a stick up her butt. Like, what's going on? But then when you see her side of things and how it explains everything, you're like, she's one of the most logical people here.
Right. Like, you're like, oh my god, this makes absolute perfect sense.
Yeah.
I just thought it was great.
But,
My son
when
loved
they
it. I loved it.
when they dropped the episode when she had that one guy drink the poison to kill him, and she was saying, "Remember what you did," and I was like, "And I gotta wait 7 days to find out what they did on that planet."
Then you had to wait longer because they didn't tell us.
They didn't tell us. Yeah.
They kept giving. Oh God, they just kept faking us out. We're like, this is a flashback. No, it's not.
Every week.
This one.
Nope.
No, it's not.
We're going to leave this episode. Nope.
No, not telling us.
So me and Jim are like, we're grown men, right? But the moment that they forced wiped the memory of the sister, we cried. We're like, now she'll never remember her sister.
If they would have done, I don't know. I still have hope that they might do a second season. Disney never officially said they canceled it. Did they not? It was released in Variety. It was in a magazine. Sources say they're not doing another one. Disney never released a press statement.
Right.
So I'm still hoping for a season 2. But I think...
Or if not, then we'll get story in books or comics.
Because we do have the 2 books coming out next year. Because there's also one about... What is her name? She's supposed to be the Wayseeker. It's called Wayseeker. And it's all about Carrie-Anne Moss' character. Trinity, Jedi character. I can't believe it.
Yeah, whatever her freaking Jedi name is. Trinity in the Matrix. She's getting her own Star Wars.
I think the second season she would start to remember things. I personally think, because they're both strong in the Force. They're
very strong.
Driven, and they have that magic background. I think they would have somehow remembered what happened and her sister.
Getting together would have somehow,
don't think it would have stayed.
I'm trying to like search up real quick of what it is, and I just realized that their Wikipedia is called Wikipedia.
Yes.
And I absolutely love this.
It's so cute.
Oh my God, that's so fun.
Name?
Indara.
Indara, good job, Denise. Yep,
that's right.
She beat you.
You know what? Take tomorrow off. So
we should though. Did you know? Fun fact: today is November 18th. It is actually a Star Wars holiday.
Do tell.
Yep. Yes, it is Life Day, which is a Wookiee holiday in Star Wars. That was first debuted in the Star Wars Holiday Special. Yeah, the Wookiees come together and they celebrate. It's kind of like Christmas.
It's sort of like Christmas and like Thanksgiving and all of that. Like, get your family together and love them and be thankful and
spread joy and love.
And you know, sometimes you'll see Wookiees will be in like robes and they hold these Life Day globes and do like Wookiee carols and anyway, that's my impression.
I just see your face, but I can't hear nothing. You look like you were spazzing out. Yeah, just real quick.
Trying to do their Wookiee.
Now you just sound like what's his name? From never mind. I can't remember his name now. Why is my memory just
really got it? There's 3 people with podcasts and we can't figure out how to do words tonight.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so today is Life Day, so happy Life Day. And
is that what you showed on your TikTok account? Was that Life Day terrifying Wookiee cup?
Yes. Oh yeah. So I posted that at the Disney parks. They have like the popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
And it was it looks like a tree with a Wookiee carved out because they would celebrate on Kashyyyk at the Tree of Life, and they'd all gather around it.
So that was supposed to be the Tree of Life for them.
Yeah.
The terrifying Wookiee cup.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know. It gave me a resemblance of Kalnaka, so I might get it.
It was a very terrifying. Like, I just was mesmerized by how
so cool.
It was I love the concept, but just something about like the carving of it looked a little off, and I was like, "What is this?" But I like the weird stuff sometimes.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I normally I like my brother. He's a weird one, so gotta hoard him. Oh my God. So, what to a lot of people in Ahsoka, they were able to travel long distances from space whales, or as Purgles. Now, that was trippy because I never seen that. I saw it. Was it Rebels? Yes,
Yeah,
I saw, and then I saw them in Ahsoka, and I was like, oh my god, yes, we get the Purgles. So, and just
those were
so sad.
created for Rebels. Like, we love
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I
That
didn't
was
know
our
that.
first
Okay.
year.
We love our Star Wars creatures, but
if you
Purgles.
can, yeah, if you can own or if you could have a Star Wars creature, what would it be?
we have to pick one. Only
Oh
one.
damn, there's so many. I would have Nub Nub and then the other one. I can't remember his
Oh,
name.
an Ewok.
You want
Yeah.
Ewok?
I would have Ewok.
I mean, I want a Bantha, and I want a Lost Cat, and I want a Lost Wolf.
I want a Bantha.
Oh.
I
I want a Rancor.
Oh my god, yes.
want
I
a
love the
Volplex,
Rancors.
The Volplex, the crystal.
Oh yeah, those are
from-
super cool.
Huh?
Yeah.
Porgs.
Porgs.
A
Yeah.
couple little porgs running
Oh
around.
yeah. Yes.
Porgs are friends, not food.
Yes, friends.
Yeah.
This is hard for us. We like the creatures.
Yeah.
I like the creatures. I think it'd be fun to run around on a tauntaun.
Yes.
Oh.
A tiny Myope.
I know.
A tauntlet.
A baby tauntaun. You know, they slice
Yeah.
open and put. Look, it's called a tauntlet.
Gauntlet?
Tauntlet.
How am I 34 and just realizing this now?
We learned this when we were doing a creatures episode. I was like,
Yep. We did a whole creatures series, and yep. Tauntlet.
yeah.
Tauntlet. Oh my god.
Tauntlet. Just keep it tiny and never grow up.
Neopies.
Yeah.
Do you know what a Neopie is? It's a creature
No.
that Obi-Wan rides on in Kenobi.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
When they are mad at you or displeased, they fart on you.
Oh. Okay. Oh.
So
Okay.
instead of how a camel spits on you,
Yeah.
they fart on you. Yeah.
Oh. Well, now I know. Can I just say the Obi-Wan series was actually pretty funny because like there was that one scene where the gate and he like blows up the gate and walks through when he could have just walked around the gate. Yeah.
Right. I know. Everybody on the internet was like,
Look, step around.
Look. The crown. You didn't need to blow it up.
"That's what we can do."
Like, I really wanted, I can't remember if he said it or not after blasting it. I really wanted him to say, oh, such an uncivilized weapon.
Oh, I know.
I
I know. Perfect. And he didn't do it.
But I will say, I loved little Leia in that show, and I thought
Oh,
Chris
yes.
did such a good job of portraying Princess Leia and Carrie
Yep.
Fisher. Like, she was my favorite. I
Yeah.
loved all the old
She was
jokes
perfect.
that she made.
She
towards
was.
them.
No, she just
Yeah.
tormented that man.
I'll give you that. She was really, for being as young as she played it very well.
She did. She was, I think, only 9 when she filmed
Oh, wow.
everything. Yeah. Like, so
Oh.
she
She
was
was great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
super
All right. So what would you say in the TV shows is probably like one of the coldest moments, like one of the coolest moments in any of the TV shows?
One of my all-time, I think, coolest moments, because it made me think of one of my favorite Star Wars video games, Force Unleashed, was actually in Kenobi, when Vader, he comes out after fighting Reva, and the ship tries to take off, and he just force grabs it and pulls it down. Like, it just shows you the power that he had. But that was also, like, reminiscence to Force Unleashed. Best Star Wars game ever is Star Killer. He pulls down a Star Destroyer doing the same exact thing.
That's
and so it was
amazing.
Whoa.
cool seeing that in the TV show.
So that was a little Easter egg to
Yeah.
people who played the games.
yeah. I
Okay.
loved it.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
There's so many to pick
I know
from.
this is so hard. Okay, one of them. 'Cause I might have a couple. One of them. Okay, in Mandalorian, when the IG unit has just unloaded, right? And then he
Oh.
does that just the coolest step you've ever seen to walk over
Oh,
the
yeah.
corpse. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
whole heads like spin around, and it was like the coolest step the internet has ever seen. I lost my mind over that stupid thing. I loved it. That was one of my favorites.
What else?
Oh, I just had an okay. This was definitely one of my favorite scenes. This was in oh god, all the shows have run together a little bit. You might have to help me which show it was. But it was, do you remember there was the scene where Kenobi and Vader were fighting, and it was right before the rocks and the not like when he raised it up, but they had the blue and the red behind the trees,
the final fight.
Yeah, like right before Vader is like, you didn't do this to me, I did. You know, like
with the broken
yeah, and the broken helmet and the like. And that whole scene was
because it went from Hayden's voice to
Anakin's. You could see him
Vader.
Yeah.
That transition ripped my guts out and blew my mind all at the same time. Like, I thought that scene was incredible.
That scene was really good. Another really good scene is in Ahsoka too, the In Between Worlds. Where she was with Anakin and it would flash between the In Between Worlds and then the Clone Wars and walking back and forth with the red and the blue. That was peak Star Wars.
That was so cool.
That was
Star Wars.
Yep.
That was the scene I was going to tell you. That was my favorite because whenever it would flash behind Anakin, it would be the shadow of Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just loved it. Loved it.
Yeah.
Filoni knows how to do Star Wars.
Oh, he does. Because he's a fan.
Yeah.
He has been a fan his whole life. You know what I just found out? I just found out. I think the last time we recorded, actually, that Jon Favreau is freaking happy from the MCU.
Happy?
My mind bursted wide open. I had no idea.
So Favreau, he created Mandalorian, and he was Paz Vizsla in the first season.
Yeah.
But
he was happy in the MCU.
He was also in Elf. Yeah.
Oh, he's on Elf. Yeah.
He was the doctor.
And in Friends. She pulled up this. He was Pete from Friends, and I was like, no, he wasn't. And she was like, yeah, he was. And she pulled it up, and I was like, bullshit. What? That's him.
Okay, so as Paz Vizsla, me and my brother both had an agreement that we hated the Paz Vizsla, but by the end of it, when he took on Moff Gideon and the guards,
loved
him. Yeah.
Saddest scene in all of Mandalorian. I cried. I was just like, I don't cry either. I'm like,
she doesn't. I cry.
Anybody
she doesn't.
My allergies are flaring up.
There you go.
Yeah. You go from just thinking he's the biggest douche ever to like, oh man.
Sacrifice himself for the whole clan to save them, and and then his youngling,
that broke my heart.
Yeah.
All I could think of was his kid, and I was like, oh, he saved his son.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Mandalorian was actually, I loved the 2 seasons that were out, and they were in the second season. They're trying to find out who was the snitch of the group, and you're like, it's got to be Wolf. It's got to be Wolf, and then it turns out it was never the Mandos.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love Wolf.
Me too.
What was his name? Axe Wolf, or what was his name?
Wolves.
Yep.
There you go.
Man, when he is flying that ship down,
so freaking rad.
And then he hops out and he puts on his jetpack, and
it was so cool.
So great.
Jetpack Mandos. That was one of the coolest scenes too.
Oh
in Mandalorian, when you just get all of the Mandos coming in with their jetpacks.
My next Mandalorian is gonna have a jetpack.
Oh, 100%. I'm gonna build a tank.
Oh.
I just want to be like a dwarf, I'm like a 5'2", and I want to be heavy armor and a jetpack and a weapon that's taller than I am. I think that would be so fun.
I could get behind this message.
So already got my color scheme picked out. It's gonna be a dark charcoal gray with a rainbow slash through it and super heavy weathered.
All right, hey, there you go.
It's gonna be fun. You're gonna be heavy armored. I'm gonna be very light armor.
Yep.
Bare minimum to get by.
It's gonna be fun.
My body hurts after wearing it for 2 hours.
I get it. By the time I do my first event, and I might be like, well, I made a mistake.
I think this armor.
I have made an error.
My life choices have come back on me.
The consequences of my poor decision.
I had to stop wearing my armor for a year because I pulled my shoulder really bad and I couldn't move it. And so it was just first troop back in it. I was like, oh, I can't move my arm.
Oh yeah.
But she had to stop doing silks because her
Yeah.
shoulder was so. It was just
Oh.
like she was so good at it, but she was tearing that shoulder up every time she'd practice.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel that. I've hurt my shoulder like 2 years ago, and it's still not the same. So I feel that.
The
Yeah.
hardest thing to recover from, like this shoulder injury, it just because
You can't rest it. Like you have to.
Yeah. And with my job, I'm always moving my arms, so like it hurt my dominant side, so it never heals, I guess. So
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah. Luckily, I'm ambidextrous, so I can use both hands.
Oh, jealous. Eric is too.
I am not.
Me neither. This hand's stupid.
It does not.
It does whatever it
communicate.
wants.
Brain and hand does not communicate.
No.
You seen that movie Idle Hands? With Devin
Yeah, I was
Sawa?
just about to say that. I was literally
It's
just
this
about to say it.
hand.
Yeah.
It just doesn't unalive people.
That's what my left hand does whenever I'm like in Target or something.
I'll
I'll
watch that movie, babe.
I'll just be like, "Hey, what are you doing?
You're
You
just
guys
like-
are
You're like, oh, I just want to buy this. You're like, no,
yeah,
no, we're broke.
yeah, yeah. You're at
We
your
spent
limit. for the
$500
week.
worth of Legos. Put it down.
Yeah,
I do
put it
what I
down.
want.
Yeah.
You don't know how I like my cereal. You're not my real dad. Put it down.
God dang. Boy, we're unpacking some was it like some mental barriers here.
I've been in therapy for 2 years, and these walls are just going crash,
Yeah.
crash.
It's like
Oh,
breaking
it's like
food, man.
Like the Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah, yeah.
oh yeah. Oh, we could keep it like Star Wars themed and you're knocking down barriers with like riding a Rancor.
Oh yes, I love the Rancor so much.
You're gonna make this happen, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find myself an inflatable Rancor costume.
Oh, there you
Wait,
go.
that's not a
Oh
thing.
my god! We do need inflatable.
Oh,
Rancor suits.
man, I wonder. Oh, that would be.
That would be the coolest thing ever.
Shit.
I'm sure
They
you can
make
get
it
the T-Rex one and then just like modify the T-Rex.
They need to make out one up you an inflatable gun.
Oh yes!
Uh, oh my god. Now hold on. A gun is from
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yep.
okay. I thought so. Yeah.
A
Oh, that'd be
Rancor.
so fun.
Oh my
The
God.
Rancors, I love the Rancors. I love them so much.
And seeing them in Boba was fun to see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one thing that is something I wish they will pull from. So we talked about the legends before. Those are books that were written
Right.
before Disney purchased. They have all
Yeah.
been scrapped. They're not part of the official story. So Disney has been rebuilding their Star Wars universe from the original trilogy, Clone Wars, and then expanding. What we're really hoping is that eventually, because we've seen more Rancors, that they'll bring in their culture. They're very social,
Very social.
creatures.
You read, which book was it?
Courtship of Princess Leia.
The Courtship of Princess Leia. That's
Okay.
right. In that book, you discover that like there's a whole society of Rancors that have built a relationship with the other species on the planet to help each other.
Especially the Night Sisters.
The Night Sisters, yeah,
Oh,
specifically
okay.
with them. Like they carry the Night
Okay.
Sisters through terrain that would be really hard to pass. And the Night Sisters help them with building and other things as well. And they just have like this cohabitation on their planet. But the Rancors are very smart, they're loyal, they're very social.
Mhm.
You find like they protect their young, like they
Yeah.
are very capable of forming friendships, and they're not just these like crazy, like
Yeah.
People
That's what
eating
people
creatures.
eating creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That's what they're portrayed
really
as, but
incredible creature.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All you see is them eating people. So I would love to see more backstory of that,
Yeah.
of these sociable creatures. And I
I
wonder
still
what
think
they
it's
call
so
their
cool.
young.
What do they call their young again? We talked about that, didn't
We
we?
did. I don't remember.
Oh, I can't remember now.
It was like a reference in that book. And I think we talked about it when we did our creatures episode, but that was a year and a half ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
I don't remember.
I can't remember either. I don't think there is a name for it.
Okay. Baby Rancors.
Oh, I'm not getting any
was.
names. I'm definitely getting a female Rancor. It's called a Moochie.
A Moochie!
adolescent stage of her development is a moochie.
A moochie.
I like it.
That's cute. Moochie moochie.
Oh, that's interesting. Didn't know that either.
Moochie.
Yeah, there's all kinds of
Moochie, moochie,
Wikipedia is such a fun like
It's so fun. Yeah. All right. So, okay. Here's the age-old question then. To round off this episode, here it is. Is it AT-AT or AT-AT?
Depends on how lazy you're being.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Fair.
AT-AT is like the technical name. AT-AT is... If you're spitting out AT-AT, you're probably like a fan who talks about it a lot because you're lazy. You're like us.
Okay.
We'd say AT-AT.
But it is
That's what I
AT-AT.
say.
It is AT-AT. AT-AT, ST.
Yeah, AT-AT.
Yeah. But I go back and
Yeah.
forth between the two.
Yeah.
AT-ST.
If I want to sound sophisticated, I used to say AT-AT.
Yes.
Yes.
That's when I have my little monocle and everything. And
Yeah. Yeah.
If you
and my
wanna
little
get
boiler hat.
more fun, so you got the AT-ATs and you have the ATSTs, which are the tooth
Yep.
Yep.
We call those chicken walkers.
Bipedals.
The chicken walkers.
Chicken walkers.
Chicken walkers.
Chicken walkers.
didn't at one point Ewoks take over one? Like Nub Nub and
Wicket?
I
No,
cannot
Wicket
think-
wasn't one of them.
Yub Nub and Nub Nub, or I can't remember the names.
Yub Nub is what they say. The Nub
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 Nub.
was one of them, but Yub Nub is the word.
Cricket.
Wicket.
I always say Utegi, so that's always what I say.
Poutine!
Those are Jawas.
Oh, Jawas. Yeah, that's right.
Jawas. I have a Jawa costume.
So, talking about the AT-ATs, we got a question for you.
Yeah.
Oh, hit me with
I know
it.
where you're going.
Why don't you ask the question? Because you know the whole... I'm going to screw it up. So, will you ask him?
Wait,
The AT-AT? The duck AT-AT?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going somewhere else with it. Okay, yes, we have a question for you. This is like one of my favorite questions to ask people when we do our talks. If you had to fight 100 duck-sized AT-ATs or one AT-AT-sized duck, which would you pick?
I'd take the hunter. I think I got good enough legs to take 100 duck-sized AT-ATs.
Just start kicking them. Kick them.
So what's your battle plan? Yeah, what's your battle plan? How are you going to beat these 100?
Well, first I would probably run in like 300 and just start thrusting my kicks, because like when they fall over, they can't get back up. Yeah. And I'd probably have some like really cool like battle phrase, like, you know, Lego my egos or something. I don't know. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I love how most people choose violence for this. So, at one of the conventions we did, I asked Rexy this question. Rexy, being the sweet human being that they are, it's like, I'll take the duck size.
Yeah, the big AT-AT-sized duck. The one. Yeah.
And feed it grapes.
And make it be my friend.
Okay.
And then,
You would befriend it, yeah.
I'll climb it and ride it into freaking battle. I mean, my battle duck.
That's gonna be one slow charge into battle.
Right, it's a duck.
It's a duck.
Smash all the people with the like
Quack, quack, quack. Oh, they sound like the Mighty Ducks. Quack, quack, quack,
Ah,
quack, quack.
that's what I'm talking about. All right. Well, here's one then. So, knock knock.
Who's there?
Yodelea.
Yodelay, yodelay-yahoo.
There you
Nice.
go.
High five.
All right. So, my last question for y'all for today's episode is, what is a hobby that y'all two could make another podcast if it wasn't Star Wars?
hobby.
Again, we just have to pick one. Hobby that we could turn into Star Wars. I mean, not turn into Star Wars.
So is this together or personally?
Together. Yeah.
Together.
If it wasn't for
Okay.
Star Wars, what other?
What else could we do a podcast
Yeah.
on? 90s pop culture.
Yeah, I'd say.
Okay.
We could
Millennial.
probably have a Friends podcast.
Millennial
Yeah.
podcast.
Millennial. We could have a total
Okay.
millennial podcast.
Yeah.
We are.
All things 90s.
We could do a Disney podcast.
Yeah.
She used to work there. I grew up basically in Disneyland.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it'd be 90s would be.
I think so. We're total millennials. Yeah.
Hey, you and me both. You know.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet we could easily have a whole Friends podcast, though. That would
I
be
can't wait for Friends trivia.
Oh, yeah. You can buy
Oh.
tickets. We can't make it, but she's going to go to a Friends trivia thing.
That is
That's
like
gonna
my
be fun.
comfort show.
Yeah.
Like if all else fails, it's Friends on.
Friends. I feel
Yeah.
that. My comfort show is King of the Hill. So
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I
They used to call me.
haven't seen it, not because-
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if I have a comfort show. Friends definitely is one of them because I've been watching it my whole life. It's one of those that I can, I just put on and I know it.
Yeah,
But really, if I need something going, I don't have a lot of attention span, so like shows are hard. But I usually have like a book or a podcast or music going.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I got you. My latest favorite comfort show is What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh,
I've heard that's
Yeah.
really good.
I haven't seen
It's-
the show, but I've heard that
I've
it's.
heard
Have you seen the movie?
It's
No.
I'll have to watch the movie.
okay. It's basically like The Office, but with vampires, and it's so funny.
It's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to
it's the
check this
best.
out.
So yeah, okay. All right. And then so as we basically end this episode, you have any last words or where can people find y'all at?
Oh gosh, you can find us everywhere. We have all of our audio streaming on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. We're on YouTube. We're on all of the little tiny podcast platforms. Most of those have us on there as well. You can find us on Discord at Travelin Bantha. We have a really active Discord channel. We've got servers we have an active server. We have channels for about every topic you can think of. We are often found in costume. We do a lot of charity cosplay. So you can find us here on social media with Real Loki Superheroes. You can find us with 501st, Rebel Legion, Mandalorian Mercs. Where else can you find us?
All
We have a
the handles.
Patreon. Yep, we have a Patreon. You can get behind the scenes stuff. You can get merch and stickers and exclusive episodes. Those start at $3. You can just get it on, Patreon at Travelin Bantha.
So yeah, everywhere Traveling Bantha is
Yep.
our handle. Simple.
Okay.
At Travelin No G.
Yeah.
No G.
Travelin.
Okay. All right. Well, dang. All right. Well, you can definitely still find us at Zero to Hero. You can also look us up on Google search as Bulk and Skull of Podcasting, and then we're the first one. So Jim's real proud of us being found very first. So I definitely want to thank you, Denise and Rexy, for joining me tonight. Sorry
for
that
having
Jim
us.
couldn't
Yeah.
graciously grace you with his sass. So
Okay, but he's trying to win the championship for
Right.
that fighting.
Yeah.
Right. If he's at number 6, man, he's got a lot of training to go to get to number 1.
Yeah, he needs to win this championship.
Yep. And we're holding you to this now, Jim. You blew us off for hide and go seek. You better win.
Yeah.
You better
Oh my
win,
God.
buddy. We will find
and
you.
I guess
We will make
Well,
you hide
yeah.
from us. I don't know.
what we'll do is we'll probably have you back on in probably a month or so, and we can retouch the update from him.
We can find out how his
Yeah.
training's going.
Yes.
Give him
Oh
some
my
tips.
God.
Be small. You can fit in places.
Yeah.
I hid it.
All
Oh
right.
my God. Okay, before we go, I have a story to tell you guys because I just thought of it.
Go
Speaking of
ahead.
hide and go seek. Okay, when I was like 5, and I was like, I'm only 5'2" now, so you can imagine. Like, I wasn't a
Yeah.
very tall little kid either. I was playing hide and go seek with some neighbors who were like babysitting me, and I was playing with all of their kids, and I was a little 5-year-old, and we were playing. One of the older siblings was like 14 or 15 or something, and he was playing with all of us. Well, he picks me up, and he sets me up on top of a dresser and covered me up with a blanket, and I stayed there. And nobody found me. It was one of those where people are like calling, trying to find the baby, and I'm just like, asleep on top of the dresser under
That
I
was
have also
me.
wandered myself up on a roof and been found up on top of a house.
Oh, you might give Jim a run
All
for
right,
his money.
Jim.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a hide off.
Oh my god, this is turning out to be super great. Oh my god.
Billy,
All right,
thank
well.
you so much for spending your night with us.
Yeah, anytime.
Super fun.
Anytime. I've always wanted to talk Star Wars. We've never talked Star Wars, so and I mean y'all taught me some new things, and I'm 34, so
You
it
taught
only
us.
shows. Yeah, so yeah.
So-
Thank y'all.
You should come be on our show now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's only sounds fair. Only sounds fair.
Yes.
I swear there was a question in that. There's a
There
question
was.
mark.
Yeah. I
She
got
always
it. I
get
got
on
it.
me like, you have to ask Rexy. And I'm like,
Let me just.
They just tell people they're doing it.
Yeah.
doing this. He's like, say please.
Yeah. Hey, you just let us know day and time, and I'll make sure Jim's there with us, or
Very cool. Okay.
or whatever. So we got
Yeah, let's plan for something after Skeleton Crew because
you. Ooh.
we're doing our weekly. So
Yeah,
right after the new
December
year.
will be real hard for us, but after the new year, yeah, let's get back together. Let's plan something. Let's have you on.
Hey, that sounds great. Let the force be with you. Oh Lord, that was bad.
Let the force. It sounded very forced.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again for joining me. Until next time.
May the force be with you.
Oh.
Do you want to be a hero, but you're not? Do you want to be a Jiro or a Kojiro, but you can't because you're not Japanese? Have you considered Zio to hero? Remember, heroes come and go. Idiots are forever. Jubilee!
Like when my mom was with me, and it was at nighttime, and we saw this thing run across the street. To me, it was a bear. It looked like a bear.
Okay.
And she's like, "What if that was?"
Where were you?
Crossit, Arkansas, which was
That
right
was
near
Bigfoot. You
Yeah.
saw like the Falk monster or something.
the Fausch. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So
You know what I'm
But
talking about again?
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the
We
legend of
just become best friends.
yeah, the legend of Boggy Creek. You know,
Yes!
my dad said he drove through there, and he said he saw it standing in the ditch. And now my dad, if he says it, I believe him.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
That's
we saw
Bigfoot.
this. We saw this big creature run across the street, and of course, there's no street lights, nothing. It's real dark. And my mom was like, "What if that was Bigfoot?" And so I stopped the car, and I was like,
Mom,
"Give me
what's up?
give me my gun, mom." We're
You
gonna go.
Told
Bigfoot!
your mother, my dad, when we were driving to Arkansas, he's like, "Here's Bigfoot." I'm like, "No, we're gonna keep going."
You're like, let's go, it's Bigfoot!
It's like, no.
Yeah.
This is the Zio to Hero podcast.